You know, you got a kid that had to grow up, really, you know, and she had to grow up in the spotlight.
I would probably have to say, up to a couple of years ago, she probably lost the passion for play.
A lot of people thought they had written the Michelle Wie story, and a lot of our media writers had said, well, I've already written that story, as if the story was already unfolded.
I know that it took a toll on her. I don't know of a single person in the media that maintained the faith, if you will.
Few athletes in any sport have had to deal with as much early in their careers as Michelle Wie. Aged just 10, she was the youngest player ever to qualify for a USGA Amateur Championship. And so the circus began. At 12, she became the youngest player to qualify for an LPGA Tour event. As a young teen, she hit the ball further than the leading professionals in the women's game. She turned pro aged 16, and the hype around her was huge. Golf coach David Leadbetter has worked with Michelle since she was 13.
I mean, here's a girl who really was a prodigy and had a number of setbacks with injuries, and actually, I would probably have to say, up to a couple of years ago, she probably lost the passion for play. I mean, she had some decent results, won a couple of events on the LPGA Tour, and we all know about how she was attempting to play the men's tour.
Media attention and endorsements were not matched by Michelle's on-course achievements. She was growing up in the spotlight, facing criticism that her friends on tour felt was completely over the top.
I don't know of a single person in the media that, you know, maintain the faith, if you will, you know, which I found very, very hard because, you know, I have friends in the media, and I knew where Michelle was going to be. I knew she was going to be on top of the world. I knew she was going to win not a major, but she's going to win multiple majors. And, you know, I was sitting there, I'm like, for God's sake, she's 21 years old. Like, you know, what were you doing at 21? You know, you're trying to put a sentence together and get it put in your university's newspaper.
Wie won a handful of events on the LPGA Tour in 2009 and 2010, but it seemed that all the off-course distractions meant she would never reach her full potential.
When I joined the tour in 2010, for my first 3 or 4 years, all I ever saw Michelle with was a book, a highlighter, and headphones. She was always studying, while the rest of us were focused 100% on golf. And I think what's happened in the last year and a half is we're seeing Michelle Wie with no distractions. I mean, and I don't want to call Stanford a distraction. Going to Stanford and still being a top 20 player in the world is pretty impressive. But what's really happened is when she's put her full attention to the game of golf, we're seeing the kind of potential that we all knew she had.
Welcome home and welcome back, Michelle Wie. Her first win in 4 years on the LPGA Tour and the first one in the U.S.
Once she went to college, she learned who she was. She took control of her golf game. She knows how to practice. She knows that in her off weeks, she can just go back to Florida or go wherever she wants to go, hang out with her friends for a couple days, and then get to work and go to a tournament. You know, she knows how to manage her time and what makes her player best.
She's got all the shots, and Michelle Wie wants to do it in style.
This girl has so much talent. I mean, she's got power, she's got finesse. I mean, literally you could see her winning 5 or 6 times a year. That's how good she is. So and now she's got her putting on track. I think the best of Michelle Wie is yet to come.
I think the breakthrough for her was just getting more consistent with her game and then dropping a lot more putts last year. I mean, she played amazing. You know, it was all a matter of time. She's a very hard worker and she's got a strong game. It's only a matter of time before she broke through.
Wie's resurgence has been accompanied by a unique putting style that demonstrates her increasing self-reliance. Leadbetter is certainly not about to take responsibility for it.
Her putting is a style that she devised herself. I make no claims on her putting stroke, although we've talked about it, and she initially did this just to basically get closer to the ground. She felt, well, you know, a lot of the players are a little bit shorter. They seem to be better balanced and they putt more consistently. So she said, I'm going to give this a try, and it was, I mean, very strange to look at. And I think you know, if most people tried that, they'd need an osteopath sort of to be playing with them, I think, to readjust them. But it's working for her.
This young prodigy has undoubtedly grown up, mature enough now to do things her own way. She has the length and the touch to dominate women's golf. The new Michelle Wie is proving the doubters wrong.
The players on tour that are doing well typically lead in smiles per round. They just seem to be having fun. And I think it's hard to watch Michelle Wie now and not see her enjoying herself. I think she leads the tour in smiles per round, so it doesn't surprise me that she's doing as well as she's doing.
You're seeing somebody that's happy, that plays golf, but has a life as well. And that's the biggest thing. And I don't think she's played her best golf by any stretch. You know, the way she's working right now, she's working hard, she's working in the gym. We have the same trainer, we work out together. So I'm seeing the work she's putting in, and I think her best golf is yet to come.
I think what she proved in 2014 is the story is really just beginning.